Howdy folks, it's Monday, way early in the morning. I'm talking like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I have a wonderful black coffee here, all the way from Colombia. I actually have some followers in Colombia. I didn't know I had followers in Colombia, but apparently I do, and they reached out to me and they said, you've got to try this coffee from this company. And I was like, alright, bro, I'll try this coffee. So it cost me a few bob. Right, it cost me quite a lot. But I imported in this coffee, and yeah, this coffee is quite nice. Not a bittery aftertaste or anything. It's just nice. It's just a genuinely nice coffee. No milk, no sugar, just straight up dirty bean juice. We're about 80% done with the customer's Steel Legion's army that's been printed. Right now on my desk, I have 6 Chimera APCs. That's the first one of. Did you say 2 or 3? It doesn't matter. That's the first of the Sentinel Walkers. I'll be assembling that later on today. I also got a model from a friend who's getting into 3D modeling. They sent me a copy of their version of Tiberos the Red Wake. He is the chapter master of the Carcharodon Space Marines chapter. I love the whole premise and idea of the Carcharodons, not Sharcharodons as some people pronounce it. There's no H, it's Carcharodons, the Shark Space Marines. So I printed that. That's on my desk. Here in the next couple of days, I'm going to be going over that desk area completely and revamping it, revitalizing it, giving it an entirely new facelift, you name it. One of the monitors has to be put into storage because, well, frankly, I don't need it. I don't use it. It's just a backup monitor in case one of these go down while I'm at work. But it's taking up valuable desk space that I need, so it's got to the computer over there that I did earmark for a friend. It has to be reactivated because there's some vital data on some of those drives I need to get off, so that's fun. What else? I'm just thinking what else. There's a few models I also have to repair that are mine. And I'm going to be taking some more professional pictures, and I'm going to be starting up my website here soon. So yeah, that'll be that. I'll actually have my own professional website. Holy shit, exactly. And I did manage to get some of the data off of my old original camcorder. This is the original camcorder that I started filming the original Coffee Times with Cobra with back in Utah. I genuinely thought I'd lost this. And there's some actual unused footage on here from my road trip across Texas. So yeah, well, road trip to Texas on this 64 gigabyte SD card. So I've got to get that footage off of it if I can, because the USB interface on the thing is damaged. So I might have to reattach, take the thing apart and hardwire in a spliced USB cable and plug it directly in and treat it as a webcam with internal storage and rip it that way. What else? Broke up with one of my partners. It sucked. It sucked a lot, but I did it for them, not for me. They've got a lot going on in their life right now, and I just didn't want to be I didn't want to be a burden. I really didn't. I just didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to be a problem for them. So I said to him, you know, we can still be friends, and we still are. We're still friends. It's just the relationship is not physical anymore. It's just more of a, you know, call me if you need anything, but don't call me after 6 p.m. kind of thing. Uh, and I'm not really tore up about it the way most people assume a guy would be, because I knew what it was. It wasn't anything that was gonna go anywhere. Unlike my primary partner Janet, who's going to be very, very cross with me because she watches my videos, and I need to get something off my chest. About a week and a half ago now. It was Monday last week, so exactly a week ago. I had some really bad chest pains. Really, really, really bad chest pains. And eventually an ambulance got called to my address because my smartwatch, which is linked, this smartwatch, which is linked to my Alexa and a few other things, mentioned, said an emergency thing to thing. There's the ambulance, say. An ambulance actually came to my rescue. I had extremely high blood pressure, like ridiculously high blood pressure, to the point where they wanted to take me in, but I refused treatment. Which you have that right as a person. I refused treatment because I hadn't heard back from someone, and I was worried about them, and I didn't want them to worry about me. That's the kind of person I am. So let's move this over real quick. That's the kind of person that I am, and I'm not saying it now to manipulate, gaslight, or anything like that. I'm just bringing it up because I need to talk more about what's happening, and that is my health is not doing the best. It's not. In fact, it's shit. I have been losing a lot of weight, quite a lot, a lot of weight. I've lost almost a kilo to a kilo and a half a week. I'm not taking any kind of Manjaro or anything like that. I'm not taking any kind of medications like that. It has to do with the fact that I am doing intermittent fasting with water. And what that means is every time I get hungry throughout the day, I have 2 windows to eat. I have 8 a.m. in the morning. Usually I push it to 12, but between 8 to 12 is my morning window to eat. Between those 2 hours, I'm allowed to have something with protein, something with various other things, but no carbs. So I can't have cereal. I can't have bread unless it's like a flat bread, something like that. There's certain breads you can have. But the point is that it's a specific strict diet. I mostly have I normally just have a chicken salad, which is pre-cooked chicken breast, and I will usually put it in the pan to dry it out because it's usually a lot, because they boil the chicken. So it's quite wet, full of water. So I put it in a pan, boil off some of that water, and throw it in with lettuce, celery, cucumber, tomato, and just a little bit of cheese. No dressings, and that's what I usually have for breakfast between the hours of 8 or 12. I usually push it to 12, and then I usually eat again at 6, or is it 7? 6. 6, and that is usually a high protein meal, which usually is beef or chicken or something like that. Again, no carbs, no empty carbs. So I do a taco mix, but I don't have any taco shells, so it's just the taco meat, if that makes sense. So it's like a lean beef, fat drained, and I will sprinkle in like cheese. I'll have tomato, lettuce, whatnot. So basically making a taco, a deconstructed taco, basically, just no taco shells or whatnot. And yeah, and intermittent fasting, and it's working. But that's not. I'm doing that intermittent fasting and the water and whatnot because my hips are going out. I'm 46 years old, and I have the hips of a 70-year-old man. So my doctors and my X-rays are saying, they're saying that my hips are so bad that I'm due to have dual hip replacements. but I'm too young to have them done. They won't do hip replacements on anyone younger than 50. But I'm supposed to have hips. I'm supposed to have this wisdom tooth out. That was 2021, 2022. I was supposed to have this wisdom tooth out. Dentist still hasn't called me back. So yeah. So when people say, "Oh yeah, let's just have a nationalised healthcare service like England," no, it will kill people. It will get people killed. It won't help. It won't serve anything. It will get people killed. Mark my words. You will get people killed if you convert to that kind of thing. Yeah, please don't. Just please don't. Please don't. For the sake of it, for won't someone think of the children? Just don't. Just please, for the love of God, just don't. Just don't. And so, as you guys know, I've been pumping out a lot of World of Tanks content. I've been pumping out a lot of videos. I've even been live streaming again. I've made a few new followers. I've lost a few old school followers, and that's fine. I get that. The Overton window that I live stream at is I'm using my EU account, so I have to stream to an EU crowd, and most of my followers are American or Western world. So it's either ridiculously late at night in the evening for you guys or ridiculously early in the morning. And I get that. I ain't even mad. I'm not. But I set a goal to complete certain things, and knock on wood, I managed to complete those goals. And that is to unlock a tier 11. And some of you guys are like, huh? So I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you. Okay, so this is obviously my Tiger 2. This isn't a tier 11. This is a tier 8. But I'm going to just click on Tech Tree real quick. Germany. I have the Taschenrate unlocked. I just got to purchase it. And I do have a 10% discount. Cool. From the Christmas event. My goal was to try and get to the Taschenrate during the Christmas event, but certain things transpired and I couldn't play. Namely, I was working. I can't do it until I get medical clearance again, but I was working on an offshore oil rig, doing 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, which means I'm on call 24/7 for 2 weeks. Okay, then I'm off for 2 weeks. So I get up, I travel, I get to the airport. I'm either on a boat or I'm helicoptered out to the rig. When I'm there, I'm immediately on call. The moment I land, get unpacked and punch in, I am on call from that point on, which means anyone who requires any section that requires maintenance or whatnot. That's why I was a maintenance technician. They will say, hey, look, this area needs welding, this area needs patching, etc., etc., or this area needs paint, or this area needs the barnacles scraped off, etc., 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 etc. That was my job. That's what I did. Occasionally, I would step up and help out in the galley, which is the kitchen, but my main job was maintenance and repair, and those things are held together with duct tape and chicken wire and hopes and prayers. But I missed out on quite a lot of the winter event, sadly, so that sucks. But I did eventually get the Taschenrate unlocked because what had happened was, yes, I was currently stuck on the Mauschen. I'm going to explain to you exactly what happened. And as you can see, I don't even have all the Mauschen completely unlocked. And you're probably thinking, how did I do this? I'm getting to it. During the Benedict Comes in Batches event, after all the tanks that were sold and whatnot, they had a section where you could collect 50,000 free EXP. There's a little thing in the store. So you go to the store. So you click on store. You have this great big section for the Benedict Cumberbatch section of the tanks, and you click on it, and it would list what tanks were selling. And then there was a little section, and click on me to get 50,000 free EXP. I was like, what the hell? So I clicked it, and then it said, and you can buy up to an additional 500,000 free EXP, or it was between 100,000 minimum to 500,000 maximum, and you could do it 4 times, and it was like £3. So I was like, and I weighed up in my mind, do I convert free EXP with gold, which I spoiler, didn't do, because as you can see, I've got enough free EXP to do it, but I didn't. So I bought this option all 4 times, and so I got 200,000 from buying it 4 times, 50,000 each time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I got the random rolls, and I got 2 100s, 1 200, and 1 500. So I had over 1 point something million free EXP. It was the most free EXP I've ever seen on my account, and I wanted to take a screenshot. But I was like, let's just get this done. So I hopped into the tech tree, and I immediately went straight to the Malshin and bought the gun, and then bought the mouse. Like, unlocked the mouse, and straight to the mouse, and then I unlocked the Taschenrate. There you go. That's how I did it. Okay? Didn't cheat, didn't hack, didn't do anything like that. And since then, I have been trying to figure out a way of how to farm literally 5 million for the mouse, and then 7 million for the Taschenrate. I want to get the Taschenrate first, just to say I've got a tier 11 in my garage, so that I can live stream it and have some fun with it and whatnot. Now, my issue with with why I did this was because the Malshin. Now, there are several CC streamers out there that absolutely love the Malshin. I hate it. I absolutely hate the Malshin. It is not in any way, shape, or form indicative for today's World of Tanks. Okay, so I've got a note card here, so please explain. I'm reading this out. Okay. Now, please understand why I sold the Malshin. Okay. Now, I sold the Malshin because of several reasons. And it's too slow to reposition. It's too tall for modern hull down meta. It's too soft on the turrets for tier 9. It's too inaccurate to trade reliable. It's too sluggish to knife fight. And what that means is if you are an assault tanker that has like the Maus, the Malshin, or any super heavy tank, tank destroyer, Jagdtiger E100 for example, they are what's known as knife fighting or assault tanks, which means they do best up front. Think of it like the Octagon. Think of it as Paddy Pimblett versus whoever he's folding up like origami. Okay? And there are quite a lot of medium tanks that actually knife fight quite well, because of their soft stats. The Pershing, the M60 pattern, sorry, that knife fights quite well, because it's soft stats. Its turret rotation is good. It's snappy with the right skills. You can just snap shots and knife fight with slower heavies that can't get their turret around on time because their turret traverse is just too slow, or their whole traverse is just too slow, i.e. the Malshin. The Malshin is just too heavy, too slow. It's just not there. You can't. The turret cheeks are too weak. The cupola is basically a huge lighthouse that screams shoot me. The lower plate just screams farm me, and the traverse is at a funeral's pace. I am not shitting on the Malshin. Please understand, there are players out there that absolutely love this tank, and I wish you all the best. I do. But the Malshin is very similar to certain tanks that have been added into World of Tanks that are designed to just slog out a grind. Case in point, the KV-1. Okay, everyone's like, but the KV-1's amazing, and it can be, but think about it. You've got to grind out over almost 100,000 EXP on the KV1, not just to unlock all the equipment, because as you can see, I don't even have the tracks unlocked. By the way, I've never had a single battle on the KV1. I've never owned it. I have no idea how, why, whatever, but I've never owned it. I've never had a single battle. I don't own any Soviet tanks, except in the KV2. Again, I've already explained how it was added to my account. I just don't know why, but one day it was just there. But point is, KV it's usually at tier 5s. So KV1, is it the Easy 8 Sherman? I want to say it's the Easy 8 Sherman. No, sorry. They've moved it up. It was the Easy 8 Sherman. No, was it the Easy 8? No. Tier 1, the American Heavy. Because you've got to unlock the N6 and the Power. It's usually tanks that require multiple branches that are the pain. Case point, it's now the T20. Because now you've got to do 120,000 to get the T69 unlocked. You've got to do 100,000 plus to get the Pershing unlocked. You've got to do 100,000 to get Ares 75 unlocked. In a tank that has a 10-second reload, like a heavy tank reload, on a 90mm gun, that just doesn't have the pen. Again, there are certain tanks in certain tech trees that are just slogs. That just, it's I know French players absolutely is one specific. I think it's, I want to, yes, it's the BDRG1B. French players, when they first start playing this tank, want to quit. It's too slow. The turret traverse is horrible. The gun handling is a joke, etc., etc. There's always one tank in particular that players loathe to play. For me, it's the Churchill 7. The Churchill 7, the tier 6 heavy, to unlock the Black Prince and the chopper and whatnot. It is borderline bullshit. Okay, the tank has no armor. It's a driving ammo rack. You can't side scrape. You can't do anything. You can't go hold down. It's physically too long to go hold down in certain spots on certain maps. You end up teeter-tottering like this. And you also have no gun depression. So, again, there are certain tanks within the game. Case in point, the Type 58. Look at this poor Type 58. You have to farm 150,000 EXP with a tank that doesn't even have more than 6 degrees of gun depression. Woo. As a medium tank. Because China decided to take the T-34-85. And that's all it is. It's just literally a Chinese Temu clone knockoff. It's stat for stats a T-34-85. That's it. That's all it is. But you got to farm more at a higher tier. Good luck. Japan, I believe it's not the Chinu. Even though the Chinu at tier 5, yeah, but this one's more doable because the Chinu is actually quite fun to play. I have it on the North American server. And then the Czechs, it's the Skoda T25. This poor thing has to farm over 150,000 to get all the rest of the lines unlocked. Which, again, you're asking for too much at tier 6. Tier 6, in this case, it's tier 4 now. This poor little thing, you got to grind out 50-something out. Was it 1, 2, that's 30, 35. Yeah, you got to grind out almost 50,000 to unlock all the things to proceed further on in the Polish tech tree in a tank that has a 40mm autoloader. No, you're asking too much for one tank. Again, the point is, that's why I did it, is because the Maushan was just, it's that one tank in the German tech tree. Now the German tech tree is quite spread out, but not as spread out as the Soviet tech tree. Okay, the Soviet tech tree, okay, has more tanks than any other tech tree. Don't know why. Oh wait, I do. I do. It has to do with the bias. Okay, I'm sorry. Quite a lot of the old devs that are now old guard or have been dismissed or no longer work for Wargaming were all Russian fanboys. This is why more and more nations are added. You see it blatantly. There are many times even community contributors said that shot should have gone through that tank, but it doesn't. Like, it's like certain tanks that just are made of starlitanium and can't be penetrated. Go figure. But yeah, I digress. I digress. As you can see, I don't have. Like I said, the only Soviet tanks I've ever had is the KV2. Um, Again, I've never owned. See, no. See, they're grayed out. So even if you've ever owned them, they permanently stay lit. Okay, if they're grayed out, you've never owned them. You've never unlocked them. Never. Yes, I have owned the ISU 152. It is a fun tank. Uh, I was going to go down the object line because I actually quite enjoy the object 268. Object 268 is actually quite fun tier 10 to play. I have it on again. I've got that on the North American server. It's the only Soviet tier 10 I've got. And I also was going down the IS3 line because I wanted to get to the IS7 just to the IS7 RAM, you know. But here on the EU, I'm predominantly a German main. And so officially, I now have my first tier 11 unlocked. I don't have the credits, as you can see. I'm woefully short by a couple of million. And no, I will not sell my lower tier tanks. Like in all honesty, I could sell the Leopard, the VK, the SPC, the Hawk 12, and just have fun with the RU-251 and the Rumpanzer. And that right there, those four tanks, if I sold those, would be about 2 million, 2.5. If I sold even the equipment goes with it. But that's still only barely enough to buy the mouse. And I'm also currently going down the server daily reset. Yep, it's 4 a.m. You're missing out on valuable crew EXP. What the hell does that even mean? Crew XP bonus cannot be applied to one or more crew members. Eh? That's the first time I've ever seen that warning. I'll deal with that. So, long story short, my goal is to get to the Leopard 1, to the E50M, to get to the Panzer 7. I'm slowly but surely, but don't call me Shirley, going to slowly grind down the GW Tiger and the GWE. I'm probably going to free blueprint those, simply because I just can't be asked to play the GW Tiger P or the GW Tiger because they're just shit artilleries. They are. And this is the thing. This is something I would like to ask water tanks players, and even non-water tanks players. I would like to ask, why is it one of the oldest nations who first used SPAA effectively, so effective in fact that they ended up taking those guns and putting them in tanks and making the legendary Tiger? Yes, the 8.8 was originally a flak gun, an anti-aircraft gun. Okay, why do we not have any of the Blitz line? We don't have the Cougar Blitz. We don't have the Cougar Blitz. Flak. We don't have any of the flak panzers. Where's our flak panzers? You could easily branch off flak panzers off of like the Lush. A new light tank line. An auto-loader light tank line based on the flak panzers, and make the tier 10 the one based on the Panther. You know what? You're making me have to Google this. Check Google. There you go. I am going to Can Basically, display capture. There we go. Add source boat. We'll move it down. There we go. Right here. You've got, that's the early one with machine guns. You've got ones that are open topped. You've got, where is it? Here you go. That was based on the Panzer 38 chassis. Here you go. This one was based on the Panzer 2 chassis. There's another one based on the Panther chassis. But there was also another one, the Cougar. I want to say that's the Cougar Blitz. I want to say it was the Cougar Blitz. There it is. That's based on the Panzer IV, sorry. But they did have ones based on the Panther as well. So that could be the tier 10. Or tier 9, tier 10. Right there. You could add these tanks, but you won't wargaming. You won't add them. I don't know why you won't. And don't say it's for balance reasons, because that's bullshit. That's bullshit, and we all know it. That's bullshit, and we all know it. So, I would very happily... Let me just delete that out. So, you could easily branch that off the Panzer II or the Luche, or even the Leopard. Right down there. But you won't. Why? Is what I'm asking. Germany was the first ones to use mechanized anti-aircraft guns. Not Poland. Not Austria. Not France. Not England. Germany. Germany. The Bundeswehr. They did. Now let me answer a bit of controversy. In some of my previous videos, people have seen this pin. I can show you this pin. People keep seeing this pin on me. And they call it a Nazi pin. It's not a Nazi pin. This is a Bundeswehr pin. And if you don't know who the Bundeswehr is, the Wehrmacht or the Bundeswehr are the professional German army. It's not Nazi. Nazi was the militant wing, the SS, okay, was the militant wing of the Nazi party. Okay, the Bundeswehr, the Wehrmacht, was the primary German army. So the old phrase, not all Germans are Nazis, now you know where the fuck it comes from. And the next person to call me out and call me a Nazi, I am going to throat punch him. Learn your history. I have both Bundeswehr pins. I also have fucking Russian pins as well. I have British pins. I have American pins from various regiments from various years. You want to know how I come to get these? Because I go to veterans. This came from a German Bundeswehr veteran from the Cold War. It's a Cold War era pin. Okay? Cold War era. Not Nazi. Learn again. East Germany, West Germany, East Germany, West Germany. Learn the difference. Learn your history. You utter mongs. But no, I am not a Nazi. I will become one if that makes you happy. Because I'm sick and tired of being called something I am not. We like to play the Germans. So what? Well, England's in the fucking game. Yeah, so what? Well, why don't you play the English? Alright, cool. Do you only eat Mexican food if you're Mexican? Do you only eat sushi if you're Japanese? Do you only eat hamburgers if you're American? Do you only eat freaking garlic and horse meat if you're French? No? Well, then shut the fuck up. We are allowed and entitled to enjoy what we want, where we want. Okay? I genuinely just enjoy the German playstyle within World of Tanks. Yes, I also play Germans in Enlisted. Why? I like their playstyle. You get a lot of early SMGs at low tier. Whether it be the MP18, the MP27s, you get access, how the MP40s, you get access to a lot of automatic firepower. And in that game, automatic firepower will win firefights 9 times out of 10. So there's not a single swastika on me. I have never once idolized Nazi Germany. Not once. In fact, I'll give you a little history about Cobra. When my father passed away, when I was 10, okay, my mother, she didn't date for many, many years. And the first time me and my brother found out she was dating someone, we wanted to meet this person, so we did. Now, my younger brother, he was a bit naive and was swooped up and swooned by him and whatnot, but I wasn't. I was a lot more mature. And the fact that I saw SS lightning bolts tattooed on his neck and had literally Hitler quotes tattooed on his forearms. That is a fucking Nazi. Let's just say their relationship didn't last very long. Not when he found out that my mother is part Jewish. And yes, I did tell him. And yes, I am part Jewish. What? Go ahead. Now call me now call me a Semite. Now call me a Zionist. Go ahead. You can't win. Either I'm a Nazi or I'm a Zionist. You can't win. You can't be both. Morons. That's not how that works. Okay? Long story short, my father was Irish. My mum is half Irish, half Jew. I am more Irish than I am Jew. Does it bother me? No. Do I hate myself? No. Why would I hate myself? Because, my daughter's mixed race, for fuck's sake. If I'm a Nazi, if I'm a staunch racist, why was my very first girlfriend black? Shout out to you, Delana. Hope you're resting well in heaven, sweetheart. How comes my daughter is mixed race? My daughter is technically half Irish, bit of Jew, 50% Maltese. So damn, this is good coffee. So at what point does your feeble brain not get it? And even if I was to capitulate and say, you know what, you're right, I am a Nazi. I'm a staunch Nazi. Let me just put on my Hugo Boss uniform and start goose stepping and listening to Rammstein. But I'm not, am I? I mean, I would look fucking beautiful in a vintage World War II German officer's uniform. Who wouldn't? Hugo Boss, you were on another level back then, my friend. Oh. But I'm admiring that from an artistic standpoint. If I open that cupboard right there, if I open up that wardrobe, you're going to see nothing but suits. Because that's what I wear. I like to wear suits. Just because I don't wear a suit while live streaming or whatnot, doesn't mean I don't like to dress up for the right occasion. Because I fucking do. I do like to dress up for the right occasion. Am I a closet Nazi? Absolutely not. What? This is the thing I don't seem to understand. People's fucking fascination all of a sudden with Nazis. They don't have a moon base. They don't have an Antarctica base. They don't have a South Pole base. Okay, they don't. If I was to tell you the truth about what really happened to quite a lot of the Nazis and other empires, your mind would just fucking die inside your brain. Here's a hint. Roman Empire fell when? The Vatican became a city when? It's its own city-state, which means, by the way, the Vatican is separate from Italy, which means it has its own economy, it has its own thing. It's literally a vassal state. Not that you'd know what that means. Wait. Oh, 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 right. It was formed right after the Roman Empire fell? Oh, what about the British Empire? Wait for it. The British Empire doesn't exist. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Are you ready? Ever gone to London? Wait for it. Guess what? The City of London is a vassal state, just like the Vatican. The British Empire didn't disappear. It became a vassal state. It became London. The Roman Empire didn't fall. It became the Vatican. Shall I continue? Genghis Khan's empire didn't fall. It became the Mongols. Unless every Mongol on this planet just dies, drops dead. Khan's empire is still well and truly alive. Japanese Empire, the Emperor's Empire. Japan is even thinking about repatriating the emperor and going back to being a fucking royal family and dissolving the Japanese government. Do you understand that? They're looking at going back to becoming a feudal warlord land, which means Yakuza. The Yakuza were samurai. Not Oni, not Ronin, samurai. There's a difference. Again, learn Japanese culture. You will find out that samurais didn't just magically stop existing. They formed up and became Oni or Ronin, or guess what? Yakuza. This is why the Yakuza have an honor code. They get it from when they were samurais. Learn your history. Now, what about Nazis? We don't know it. Argentina. Google it. Argentina joined the Axis in World War II, yet they never attacked anyone. Ireland. My home country. Neutral territory, but guess what? Signed a peace pact with Nazi Germany. Several U-boats parked up in Ireland for maintenance and repairs after literally sinking tons of British shipping. And the Irish government gave them repairs, refits, and food. And fuel. Fuel that was earmarked for the Royal Navy. Why the fuck do you think England won't leave Ireland? Because if they did, Ireland would become a vassal state. Again, fucking think. Geopolitics is not your bag, baby. Ask someone from Finland, ask a Finnish person what they think of Russia. I'll wait. So you think that Greenland's the issue? No. Greenland is in a position where if England falls, which by the way, it is earmarked to collapse within the next 10 years, when England falls, so goes quite a large station of nuclear deterrent for the United States. Here's a hint. There are certain bases up and down the coast of Scotland and England and Wales, okay, that are nuclear deterrents for the East. And when the English government collapses, and it will collapse, when the English government collapses, so does that defense. And so Greenland. America is cutting their losses and going to Greenland and said, hey, we're going to have a base stationed here. We'll pay you. And Greenland's like, okay, cool. It's not about buying Greenland. That's something you leftist nut jobs are saying. It has to do with fucking global defense. Okay, America has literally the Golden Dome system up and running now. So good luck trying to fucking get a nuke into America. It's not going to work. It's not. I mean, one or two might sneak through. But your primary source of missiles? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. And I'm not. I don't have the missiletism. Okay, like habitual line crosser. Love you, by the way, habitual. Much shout out to you, habitual. But my point is this. Okay, empires don't just disappear overnight. They become something else. Learn, research. Just research. Do you know the Dutch East India Trading Company is still around? Let that sink in. So is the Africa Trading Company. They're still around. Renamed, rebranded, absorbed, trained, changed, but they're still around. You cannot register the name Dutch East India Trading Company or Royal African Trading Company because both those names are traded, are IP traded, which means, guess what? They still exist. What are they doing? Think. You're worried about BlackRock and Raytheon and all these other scary named companies. No. Who the fuck do you think they learned it from? You're not thinking. Think. Well, this video turned in a real dark path. Anyway, so, long story short, not a Nazi. Stop accusing me of it, lest you want to see an actual Nazi in me come out. Okay? I don't just hate one race. Okay? Nazism, again, this is another question I keep getting asked. Okay? Even people ask me this in private to my face. To my face. They ask me about the concentration camps. I'm like, okay, what about them? Do I deny what Hitler did? One, I'll answer that question in a way that's going to make your brain fucking explode. I've gone to Poland. I've been to Auschwitz. I've seen it with my own eyes. Okay? I understand that certain parts of that camp have been decommissioned, that have been left to rot, etc., etc. So I did the smart thing. I pulled up the correct documents because guess what? It's been 80 years. They've been declassified, including the camp layout. The chambers were not big enough for mass killing. Also, there's no mass graves. There's been several studies done, both by the World by the World Health Organization, by the Trilateral Commission, by all these other people. They've all bought and paid to have these studies done, to have Doppler ground penetrating radar done. They haven't found a single mass grave within 5 miles of these camps. Where's the bodies? And here's another thing. During the Nuremberg trials, okay, during the Nuremberg trials, they showed video clips, and you can even look at these video clips again. They're in the U.S. archives. You can pull them up, of George General Patton being escorted around some of these camps. Patton, it would have took Patton 5 days or a day and a half by plane. Okay, a day and a half by plane, or days on the road by jeep, train, whatever, to get from where he was in Paris to Poland. Okay? Yet the footage says liberated on this day, and it gives the exact date. He was nowhere near these camps. So they staged those videos for shock and awe. This is where the term kangaroo court comes from. Also, if it was a court, why were they not allowed legal defense? Not in any single document do you see a lawyer's name or a legal defense counsel's name for the accused? Their fates were already sealed before any judge sat down. And why was it always only allied judges? 2 Russians, 2 Americans, 1 British. 5 judges. Why such an odd number? Why not 6? Oh, that's right, because if that's the case, it would have been a hung jury. Oh, and that's right. There was no jury. Was there? It was a kangaroo court. They were literally building the gallows as they were doing the Nuremberg trial. Look it up. Just look it up. Look it up. And even to this day, Benjamin Netanyahu, fucking Netanyahu, has said publicly in both 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019, in public fucking forums, Hitler never wanted to mass extinct the Jews. He just wanted to move them out of Germany. So why would your religious leader say that no, Hitler did not kill Jews? He did not mass kill Jews. Ask yourself that. I'm just going to leave it in your hands. Do I condone what he did? No, I don't. But why is it also when America rounded up Japanese Americans, put them in concentration camps in California and Arizona and Nevada, and up to 300 people died due to heat stroke and various malnutritions and various other conditions, okay? Why not a single US general, captain, lieutenant, guard? No one was held accountable. No one was court-martialed. No one was hanged for that. Those were US citizens, illegally detained. Kangaroo court. Kangaroo fucking court. Japan even surrendered 2 days before the second bomb was dropped. Do you understand that? America dropped the second bomb even after Japan surrendered. So don't give me no shit about America good, Germany bad. Russia. Do you want to know it was a standing order for most Germans on the Eastern Front to save 1 bullet for themselves? Why? Because they didn't want to get captured by the Russians. The Russians would strip them of their clothing. Right down, buck naked. And tell that German soldier to start marching into the cold, into the snow. And they would count how long it would take for that German soldier to freeze to death. Is that not a war crime? Not a single Russian general was held accountable for that shit. Was they? And you think that's the only thing? Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. Trust me, some of the shit that the Russians did to their own people, let alone to the Germans, they ain't fucking innocent either. There is no innocence, only degrees of guilt. Understand that. Understand where that phrase comes from. I'm not 100% innocent. I've killed people. Yeah, when I was in the British Army, I've killed people. I've killed 14 people. I've even kept count. As the driver of a Challenger 1, when I watched that 120mm gun let rip and hit a piece of shit Soviet era T-62 and watch it just go off and the turret go, knowing that everyone inside that tank is dead. Not once, not twice, 4 times. Not including civilians I'll rephrase that. Not including combat infantry that we mowed down with machine guns and high explosive. Oh, they ran to that building? HVAC right through that building. No more building left. Then just drive over the rubble. If there's anyone still alive that weren't killed by the sheer shock or the building falling on them, they sure as fuck died when the tank drove over them. Am I proud of that? No. Did I cry myself to sleep? Yeah. Do I have nightmares? Yeah. Do I wake up screaming? Fuck yeah. Do I have to take medication just to help me fucking get through the day? Yeah. Do I have PTSD? Fuck yeah. Is that the main trigger? No. Main trigger was when an IED went off and killed 3 of my mates and almost killed me. Because even tankers have to do foot patrols. Middle of a conversation. Large bang. Wake up. People standing over me. One guy yelling, oh yeah, he's proper fucked. And walking away. They prop me up against a wall. I look over at what's left of 3 of my friends. And the first thing I think to myself is, dear God, please tell me I've got all my limbs. And I did. Luckily for me. There's a reason why I don't shave my beard off completely, because if I did, you'd see all the scars on my face. Or if I shaved my head properly, you'll see the scars on my head, on my hip, on my leg, on my arms. And there isn't a day that doesn't go by where I ask myself, why me? And yeah, this turned really fucking dark really fucking quick. Because I'm sick and fucking tired of having to answer the same questions over and over and over again. So understand this. No, I am not a fucking Nazi. Keep it up and I will be. You will push me to it because you've already prejudged me as it. So I will become the monster you think I am. And when I do, and I destroy you, don't say, I told you so. I won't apologize for becoming the monster I am because you didn't apologize for making me the monster. Do you fucking understand that? Watch your words. Coffee's done. Video's done. So then guys, keep sharing, keep your enemies dying.